something I've heard you use in a core principle of a lot of the bioavailability and the supplements you use is the liposomal format. And it's all the rage right now. Let's be honest. I was actually down in Miami last week and met with some nutraceutical people that were, developing new stuff. And I asked them how they felt about, liposomal formulas in general. They're like, well, what is liposomal to you? Because to every company that comes in here, it means something else. And is it truly liposomal? Now you just slap that word on any supplement and kind of sell it that way. But talk about your technique
out there.
I know it really is. And that's the thing. There's so much marketing. There's so much confusion in the marketplace too, as to, I get it. They're like, hey, is this product good? It's very hard to tell just off a picture of a product, right? Yeah. And then you have no information on what it truly means or why it would be, or the process that it took to get there.
Yeah. And, unfortunately, a lot of people just take like a baker's lecithin. Let's just get some Cargill lecithin and put it in a blender. And what does it do with water? You get this big, milky, cloudy thing. And they say, well, that's a liposome. They don't know what the hell it is. And they chuck the glutathione or the vitamin C in there with it. And they call it that. Now, in those, if they were liposomes, they would be very large ones with slow absorption. And you can't see if you have instability in there because they're all cloudy. Now, when those particles get down below 100 nanometers, they go clear because they're smaller than wavelengths of light. Mm-hmm. And so now if there's anything not dissolved in there, you see it fall to the bottom. You'll see anything not perfect in the membrane of the liposome or the nanoemulsion rise to the top. That's called creaming. And, and you'll see all these instabilities. So when they're transparent, it's a perfect solution. You don't know what size it is, but none of these guys do. To really characterize these products, you gotta be able to do some of the analysis on them. Dynamic light scattering. We have 3 of them in. None of these companies have a single one. We have one in R&D. We have one in manufacturing, and we have one that's a mobile one. And if we ever have partners, we move it over there. I bring it to shows sometimes and shame people. And, what we do in R&D, we find the particle size, and this uses lasers and backscattering to see what the particle size is. We find the most stable particle size for the different ones that we're doing. And then we make that specification for manufacturing. Every batch that comes out has to have that particle size, give or take a little bit. And the particle size is intimately connected to absorption rate. So we're going to get the same absorption with every single batch. Then we're also characterizing with electron microscopy. So we know what those particles look like. And those have, as opposed to a correlative measure of size, they have an absolute measure of size. They got little nano rulers in there. And so you can say, all right, did this all work out right? And so, yeah, okay, it all does. And then we do the pharmacokinetic studies, the absorption studies to see what's going on. We know that, for instance, our CBD peak in 15 to 25 minutes, depending on the person, versus 2 hours for a capsule. We know we got 6-fold more into the blood than we did with the other. Quercetin, 25-fold more into the blood, peaking in 20 minutes. We know how all this stuff works. Everybody else is just, it's liposomal, 100% absorption. Nothing's 100% absorption. Stop with this bullshit. So fortunately we're miles ahead of everybody. The only groups that put out anything decent in the last 10 years came out of cannabis because there was so much money that a bunch of PhDs went in there. There was 1 or 2 products that came that were good, but most of those disappeared because the industry is disappearing. But the nutraceutical level, it's just really bad unless we're private labeling for them.
Yeah, no, it's a shame what you see going on these days as far as, again, claims and this sort of marketing hype that goes beyond it. Yeah. It really is in the process. As you know, quality determines results. That's in health and medicine. That's it. So you got to understand where you're sourcing as well as the process. If you don't have those pieces of information, I really don't care about the claims too much of a company. You got to be a little bit transparent in that. And I know Quicksilver definitely is. Yeah.
We have so much testing, so much characterization. We're just obsessive about quality. I just freaking cringe if anything isn't perfect.
Yeah, and it makes sense. These are things you're putting into the body. They have to be of the utmost quality. And unfortunately, as humans, we put a lot of crap in our body, and that's the need for detoxification.
Yeah, they are. And, and frankly, it's my whole life's work. And it's like my pride in that. And it's, my signature on it. And if it's not doing what I, intended it and said it would do, that's freaking killed me.
Yeah. And that's how it should be in medicine and in health for sure.
Yeah, in health for sure. People give it, I work in autism all the time. I know your dad did a lot, your clinic does a lot in that. You're dealing with these kids and these parents, and, you have to bring them the best of the best of the best.
And that's why people need to understand, to get the best, you got to pay for the best. That's people get that all the time with cars, right? Premium fuel and their nice European sports cars.
They'll do that. And then they go to Walmart for their supplements. I mean, we're known as a premium, and it's like, well, you're this much more expensive than this.
Right.
There's a great reason for that. But, you look at our P&L and our margins and stuff. It's like, when money people come in, they bitch at me a lot. They're like, you got to make more. I'm like, I can't charge any more, and I can't use a cheaper ingredient.
Right.
It's like, this is what we got. We just got some more.